If everything had gone according to plan, Ben Roethlisberger would be delighted today, and an army of journalists would not be picking through his most recent radio interview like they'd been handed an original copy of Macbeth. The Steelers' plan did not work, so those in management made the best of the situation. But the problem is they did not make the 2018 Steelers a better team. That's at the core of Roethlisberger's comments last Friday to radio station 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh, which plays host to his weekly radio show each fall. Feel free to dissect Roethlisberger's snark regarding whether he intends to help mentor third-round draft pick Mason Rudolph, the quarterback from Oklahoma State. Except to the extent it's motivated by his obvious disappointment at the Steelers' personnel moves on defense, it is inconsequential to the question at hand. The question is whether the team's work in free agency and now the draft has repaired a defense that rarely was exceptional in 2017, that gradually declined as the season progressed and then collapsed when star linebacker Ryan Shazier suffered a spinal injury in Week 13. The answer, not really. The Steelers are much improved at safety, which they accomplished simply by cutting Mike Mitchell. They also signed former Packers regular Morgan Burnett and drafted Terrell Edmunds in the first round. But they still appear woefully short of talent at inside linebacker, and it's hard to imagine the defense concocting a Super Bowl-level performance as a result. NFL draft grades. How Steelers fared with 2018 picks. Replacing Shazier obviously was a priority, but the only addition at that position was journeyman Jon Bostic, who started last season for one of the league's worst defenses, Indianapolis, and has been traded twice in his career, once for a 6th-round pick and once for a 7th. The Steelers had the No. 28 overall pick in the draft, and any hope they had to gain a starting quality inside linebacker began to erode as Boise State's Leighton Vander Esch became more popular among the league's personnel people. The need to pick earlier to have a shot at Vander Esch or Alabama's Rashaan Evans led the Steelers to trade wide receiver Martavis Bryant for a 3rd-round pick, which they hoped would be enough to help them move to an earlier pick in the draft. The problem there, when Buffalo traded out of the number 22 slot to move up and choose Wyoming QB Josh Allen, that meant the teams at No. 21 and No. 22, the picks Pittsburgh needed to have a shot at Evans, were held by Cincinnati and Baltimore. The Steelers choose Edmunds because they believed he was the best player available when they did make their pick. The inability to execute the trade meant they still had that 3rd-round pick on hand. When it became apparent Rudolph might still be available when they picked, they moved up a few spots to make sure they got him. The Steelers thought that highly of Rudolph. But choosing him there essentially meant trading a starting quality wideout who might be motivated to excel during a contract year in exchange for a guy who might be a replacement for Roethlisberger a few years down the road. It might look like a wonderful trade in 2021. But this isn't 2021. I just don't know how backing up or being the 3rd guy helps us win now, Roethlisberger said of the Rudolph selection. If they feel like he can help our team, so be it. Roethlisberger's tantrum only validates Steelers' Rudolph pick. The Steelers addressed the vacancy they created in the Bryant trade with their 2nd-round pick of Oklahoma State's James Washington, but it's unlikely any veteran quarterback is going to immediately look at a rookie and see someone equivalent to someone who caught 50 passes last season. When it happened, when the report came out, I was kind of bummed. Roethlisberger said, I liked him. I liked what he was able to do on the football field for us. General manager Kevin Colbert defended the team's defense in a radio interview with The Fan, pointing out that some of the hysteria regarding the team allowing 45 points to Jacksonville in a playoff game are overblown because of several short field situations. However, that doesn't explain the Jaguars' 164 rushing yards or the Steelers' inability to get fourth-quarter stops when the offense was attempting to rally. The Steelers last season were 10th in the league in rushing defense, just 13th in takeaways. They struggled to get off the field, and they got fewer short field opportunities than contenders Jacksonville and Philadelphia. This was why Roethlisberger was frustrated to see a high 2018 draft pick spent on a quarterback. It might have been the best pick for the future, but that doesn't mean there isn't reason to be disappointed now.